Knowing that there is a science of positive psychology, aka science of happiness, is truly remarkable thing. So much research has been done already in this field, and we can only expect more and more to come. The scientists will certainly continue their research and make advances in the field. And they will know more and more every day what makes the life worth living and what makes us happier. But I do see one problem here. Firstly, this research is not widely available. Generally, research from positive psychology. Few of us read, thank God, there are some of us who will read hundreds of research papers so that finally we can come up with one or two exercises to teach others, something that we can apply. In my discussion with Dr. Chad Barton, I mentioned Chad in one of the earlier lectures, who was the researcher that did that famous 2-minute journaling research with Laura King. He told me how impressed he is with what I've been doing. Now, this is not about me and how I may or may not impress people. It's about bringing the science of positive psychology into real life. And it's about the researchers, some researchers truly understand what is going on and appreciating people bringing this to the street. He told me the issue is that the scientists move from research to research depending on how quickly they get funding. I didn't really understand this in the past. I didn't until Dr. Barton explained this to me. Actually, if they don't get funding, they may lose their jobs, as some of my friends actually did. There was no funding and there was no research for them to do. But that's beside the point. They get funding, they do the research, they publish the paper, and as per Dr. Barton, they then move to the next research. So usually they don't know what happens to their published work. Is anyone reading it? More importantly, is anyone using it in his or her life? And this is where applied positive psychology comes to place. Dr. Martin Seligman shared in his talk delivered 2010 at the University of Michigan that everything he did from the time when he was trying to help people, studying what's wrong with people, if you will, using shocks on himself before even giving to the mouse, to positive interventions such as gratitude letter. He tried first, then he gave it to his family members, then he tested in the lab, and then and only then did they take it out to the street. And that, as he said, and I so agree, is a golden standard, right? So that's really where applied positive psychology comes in place. My dear friend, mentor, and former Harvard professor, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, said in one of the discussion that his research paper was probably read most by 5 people. Himself, his wife, his brother, mom, and I believe one of his friends. Now, what this tells us is that very few people read these papers. I'm sorry to say that, but they're often boring. And unless you are involved in the field of positive psychology, they just, it's hard to read this. But again, some of us will read these papers, and so we can, come up with one or two or few exercises, paragraphs that truly applies to the practice of positive psychology, what we called applied positive psychology. So in this lecture, we will go over some additional tools, resources, exercises that you can try, apply in your own life, share with your friends, family members, and hopefully they will help you and others increase happiness level. After all, our goal is to improve overall well-being, and really for us, but also for our friends and our family. So you can listen to these lectures and come back anytime to it, of course. You can pick one tool and try for a week or so. If you want some of these to become habits, you know the rule, do it for 21 to 30 days. It may be difficult to try all these tools simultaneously, and I really wouldn't even recommend it. So try one, come back to the lecture, try other, see what works. Or if you feel comfortable, just try them all. Again, some will work for you, some may not, but unless you try it, you will never know. First tool for this lecture is what we call the 3 good things. And we covered that earlier, but let's do this. So at the end of the day, you're going to spend a few minutes to think about 3 good things that happen. So first tool for this lecture is what we call 3 good things. And this particular one will be a little bit different than the one we gave you earlier. So at the end of the day, spend a few minutes to think about 3 good things that happened that day. And think what caused it. Then take a piece of paper and write it down. I told you that I introduced this, I guess about 3 years ago, and was doing it every night for months. It's a very powerful exercise, as it helps to, end the day thinking of good things rather than bad things. It forces us really to recognize good things in life. But in this particular one, you also want to write down what caused it. So 3 good things and what caused it. The second exercise. Mindfulness. We didn't cover mindfulness in details, and we will do that in our next course, certainly. But here we would like to introduce this exercise briefly. To get started, we can do exercise of breath, breathing exercise. We all breathe anyway, right? Thank God. So we can do this exercise anywhere, anytime. It's available to us. Take a moment. Take a deep breath, and every once in a while just remind yourself of taking a deep breath. I also strongly recommend that since you have a membership to Curious.com, also check my other Habits and Happiness program, and there is a full 5 deep breath exercise, what I call the research behind it and explanation how to do it. The next one. The gratitude ladder. This is an extremely powerful exercise, and it's been done all over the world. Dr. Marty Seligman has been giving this to his students for years. So think of someone who did something good for you, but you never got the chance to appropriately thank them. It could be a friend, relative, a teacher, but it has to be a living person. So for this particular exercise, it has to be a living person. You got the name? Think about it. You got the name? Good. So in this letter, you need to be very specific. Write down what this person did for you, why you're so grateful to them, and how this event, or even multiple events, impacted your life. What are you doing differently based on this event? Now, ideally, you are going to write this letter. Do it by hand. Don't do emails, please. Do it by hand. And ideally, you are going to deliver it to this person. You're going to deliver it, in person. Just tell them, hopefully they don't live across the world, right? Ideally, you'll deliver. If you can't, then I would suggest next thing is if the person is on Skype, you can see each other or some video call. But again, you really want to deliver it. You want to read it. That's the idea. So just tell them that you would like to visit if you are visiting, or you would like to have video call and so on. Don't tell them why. Don't explain anything. Then, when you see this person, and again, if possible, if the person lives on the other side of the planet, is difficult, but if possible, go and see the person. Arrange the meeting, and if you cannot, arrange the virtual meeting. But you do need to see each other, either in person or over the video. Then sit down with this person and read the letter loud to them. Just pay attention to the feelings across on the other side from that person, and actually pay attention to your own feelings. Leave the letter with the person. Often, this exercise brings joy, full of tears, in person delivering the letter as well as person on the other side, the receiving end. I have done this actually with my wife about, I guess, 3 years ago, and it was just amazing experience, so highly recommend it. The next exercise is journaling. So, more recent work done by Laura King from the University of Missouri, and I told you Charles Barton from the University of Pittsburgh, shows that even journaling for 2 minutes a day for 2 days improve your well-being. Now imagine, 2 minutes a day for 2 days improve your well-being. Is journaling something you could introduce into your daily routine? Could you commit 2 minutes a day to this habit? Just give it a try and see where it takes you. Practice forgiveness. Make a list of people who hurt you very much. Hope there's not that many. Consider one person. What kind of harm did this person cause to you? When you are ready, make a decision to forgive. Are you ready to forgive? Once you make a decision, all you need to do is just to tell yourself internally that you forgave this person. This doesn't mean that you're going to tell them, don't worry about it and do it to me again. Just internally forgave. And the reason is that you will feel better. It's all about you. The next one is spend time in nature. Spending 20 minutes a week, believe it or not, in nature will improve your happiness and your well-being. Let me close with the following. When Dr. Marty Seligman delivered a lecture on human values at the University of Michigan in 2010, this is how he closed it, and I quote, "What does every parent want for every child?" This is exactly what we have talked about today. We can all say yes to more positive emotions in life. We can all say yes to more engagement with people we love, our work and our leisure. We can all say yes to better relationships with people. We can all say yes to more meaning in life. We can all say yes to more positive accomplishment. We can all say yes to human flourishing. So enjoy. I hope this program will help you become even happier, improve your well-being, and therefore become even more successful. Thank you.